This episode is sponsored by the Freedom Builder System. For just $57 a month, you can get my custom Biz Builder AI, plus membership in the Freedom Builder community. Think of it as having me, your personal business coach and corporate escape Sherpa, right in your pocket 24/7. Biz Builder AI is your business building tool with 5 Sherpas in one powerful tool. It's a coach in AI form that helps you choose the right idea, create offers, build your financial runway, and market yourself without the cringe. And the Freedom Builder membership gives you the training, community, and accountability to actually follow through. So you're never doing this alone. Think of it as clarity, tools, and support all in one for less than the cost of a dinner out and a fraction of what you'd spend on private coaching. Check the show notes for the link, and let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Gen X Remix, Midlife, Laughs, and Next Acts, the podcast for bold women who are ready to build a business that actually lights them up and escape corporate. Yes, always in that order. I'm your host, Tabatha Jones, the Corporate Escape Sherpa, helping midlife women design profitable businesses, rediscover their confidence, and finally build a next act that feels like freedom. And speaking of freedom, today's episode is all about remixing your style in midlife. Because let's be real, our bodies, our priorities, and our patience for uncomfortable shoes have all changed. My guest, Gail Scott, is a dear friend and a personal wardrobe stylist who helps midlife women rediscover their confidence and authenticity through color, wardrobe, and makeup. She's proof that reinvention doesn't stop at 50, and neither should your style. So grab your coffee or your contour brush, and let's talk about why feeling good in your clothes is not vanity, it's strategy. Let's dive in. All right, Gail, welcome to the Gen X Remix. How are you?
I am great, and it's so good to see you, Tabatha.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I think back to when we first met. It was very early in my I'm a coach full-time journey. And I just had the best time getting to know you and really learning more about what you do, but also your fun personality. So today is going to be so much fun. I don't get to interview my friends very often.
No, this is the best part when we get to work with our friends. And then a lot of times the people we work with become our friends. That seems to be my story.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. It's funny. I see posts every now and then on LinkedIn or Facebook or somewhere about how you shouldn't make friends at work. I was like, if I didn't make friends at work, I probably wouldn't have had any friends. I think most of my long-term friends came from work.
I don't agree with that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump in and start with my very favorite question. What is your remix story, Gail?
My remix story, I've had several throughout my life, but the one that's most recent and the one that's probably going to resonate with your audience is having to make a midlife career shift. And for me, I was in my mid-50s. I thought I was in a career that I would be in the rest of my life and it would roll on just like it was. I also thought I had built something that would take care of me for a very long time. And over a period of about 2 years, things really took a shift and I was working harder and making less money. And this was coming out of the pandemic. And it was very scary because when you've put off all other opportunities and offers to really chase one dream and one goal and one profession and one career, and 30 years in, it suddenly doesn't feel like it should, and you realize this is not going to sustain me into my old age, I was really upset. And it caused me a lot of stress and sleeplessness. And I thought, after 30 years, I can't go back to what I did before. What am I going to do? Am I going to have to get a regular job? I've been an entrepreneur for all this time, and that was terrifying. And I know some women really thrive in the office environment, but I am an Enneagram 8, so I thrive out here on my own, doing my own deal. But, if some of your listeners may or may not be believers, whatever you believe in, sometimes there's just a shift that needs to happen and things fall in place at just the right time. You've just got to be open-minded about making the shift. And it's almost like rocks going over a little creek. You're not sure if that next rock's going to be stable or support you, but you don't know till you step on it. And so I made a few shifts and then the right shift happened. And so I still get to use, this is the beauty of it and how good, things have worked out, that I get to use all my gifts and talents from that 30 years in how I operate my business now. I still get to do some of that, but it takes up a smaller amount of my business. And so I didn't have to feel like all was lost. And that was just very encouraging to me. Plus, as a midlife woman, going into our late 50s and 60s, to know that I can recreate things at that age, that was so empowering. And to know that I could do it again if I had to, I can make a shift. And I think that's very scary to a lot of midlife women, is having to make a shift, whether it's divorce or whether it's a job loss. A lot's going on in our economy and with the job market right now. And we've seen people lose jobs that they thought were completely secure. So just want your listeners to know you can shift. And there are shifts available that will allow you to use everything you've gained over all these years.
Oh my gosh. I feel like our work here is done. I don't even know if I can say
anything else today.
It's over. That's literally the message that I want our listener to hear every single time. It's never too late to make a pivot. It's never too late to follow a dream. And sometimes things happen in life that we have no control over, as you mentioned. And, midlife, well, first off, my tolerance for BS is way lower than it used to be. So much lower. But, thinking about that, it is okay to go try something new. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. And your story is just so inspiring. And I can't wait to dive into what you're doing today. So, Gail, I know that you were in the style space. So tell us a little bit about what you do for work now.
I'm a personal wardrobe stylist. So when I wrap that in with what I did for 30 years, which was in the beauty industry, the styling had always come in along the way. People would always ask my opinion and I would give it, or I was that girl that would go shopping with people and they're in the dressing room and I'm throwing things over the top. So I've always kind of done that, but I didn't do it as a business. And when I was able to shift, I went back and got some education on that, figured out what that business looked like. I added that to my beauty business. So what I offer midlife women is a transformation, a makeover, head to toe. And what I love about that is when women get in midlife, they often realize, I don't know who I am anymore. And you probably hear this all the time from your clients. I lost myself along the way. I don't know my identity. I've just been what other people told me to be. Mom, taxi cab, soccer coach, room mom, the baker, the cook, or the, donut maker. And we've worn all these labels. And as those start to fall off with career changes or kids growing up or shifts of any kind, menopause, all these things, we can wind up kind of confused. And the women that come to me, that's often what they say. I don't even know what my style is anymore. I know I'm ready to up my game because face it, Tabatha, if we've raised children, what do we spend our time doing? Shining the little children everywhere we went. And we barely could get our shoes on to get out the door to our jobs. We made sure our husbands look great in their careers. We've spent a lot of time on other people. And so it's really a time where we can turn the attention back to ourselves. I like to say, if not midlife, then when? And so we have found this to be, I have had a podcast too, where we talk about midlife, and we found it to be a season of renaissance for women. They are ready for their next season. They have done all the things, and it's proven through science that we also have hormonal shifts that cause things in our brain to allow us to now focus on other things. We think our brain's kaput. It's actually not. There's actually some clarity that happens when we're not on a monthly cycle. So long story short, that is my area of joy. Those are the women I love working with the most and helping them to reveal who they want to be, how they want to feel in their clothes and makeup, and how they want to express themselves in their clothes and makeup. And that's two different things. And seeing their joy when they realize they're not washed up, that they just needed a tune up. I mean, I smile when I go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I can imagine. We were joking a little bit before we hopped on this about how your body really has shifted. My body has. I shouldn't say your body because I am far away from you and I don't know for sure. But my body has shifted during menopause, right? I was like, never really had that bootylicious thing going on, but now I'm like, where did it go? Like, I don't understand. So the clothes that, yeah, so the clothes I wore in my 30s don't look the same anymore. And what you're doing and really helping midlife women regain that confidence and rebuild that style and really recognize who they are, because what we have on the outside is a reflection of what's going on inside, is so important.
Truly. And in our company, Your Color Style, we're about two things: confidence and authenticity. We want you to be confident. We want you to be confident that you're not only looking great, we want you to look how you feel most authentic. We want you to look how you want to look. And in this season, how you want to present yourself, not how someone else tells you have to present yourself.
Yeah, so good. When you think about, some midlife women, I think, have just kind of given up. They're like, whatever, I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done. But there are some reasons that it's important to manage your appearance and kind of adjust with the time, so to speak. Why do you feel that it's important to focus on this aside from, the
Whether
confidence,
we
but
like it or not, we live in a society that judges us based on our looks. We do it too. Sometimes we don't realize it, and it's not to be mean or cruel. And this is not about being the prettiest girl or not. Please don't hear that in what I'm about to say. But especially if we're in business, if we're entrepreneurs, if we're rising up the career path, and a lot of women do rise up the career path in their midlife years because they don't have to run the carpool. They can focus on their career for a change. So a lot's going on here. But the thing I want your listener to think about is when I'm making a presentation or I'm in front of my boss or someone I'm hoping to sell something to or that I want to acquire my services, is there anything about my appearance that would cause them to question or doubt? Because when we make a presentation to somebody, we get the words down just right, our resume looks great, our pen, whatever. But there are things you can do to make someone question if you're the right person. It's not whether you're slim or overweight. It's not whether you're the prettiest. It's, do you represent what you're offering them? So a good example is if you go to the doctor tomorrow, Tabatha, and you're sitting there in your little paper gown and you're waiting on the doctor to come in, and he walks in a chef's coat and hat, you would be confused. We never want people to be confused when we're asking them to give us money or hire us or work with us. We want there to be clarity in what we say and how we look and how we handle ourselves. And people say, well, that doesn't matter. Well, it does, though, because our society has become so quick and fast. We don't have 5 minutes to make a first impression. You sometimes have seconds, especially on a Zoom call, your little icon head on your social media. So many times it's seconds. And so if you do anything that makes you not look the part, they're going to move on to the next person. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's neck and neck, it's head to head. And that's the only thing that separates you. That person didn't cause anybody to question or have concerns about if you were really there. I also like to tell people, if you work in any industry that requires you to be up to date, in the know, being stylish and fashionable, I'm not talking about necessarily trendy, but having your look together and wearing things that are somewhat in versus completely out, does give the impression that you know what's up. You know what's going on in the world. You're engaged in the world and you know how to operate in the world. So if you're in an industry that requires that, you need to, again, look the part. It's really important. And that's what my clients depend on me for.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you tell the listener who is thinking about what you've just said, who's thinking, Gail, I don't have extra money to go buy a whole new wardrobe, and my wardrobe is from 1989. What would you tell them?
But there's a couple of things because I work with clients in a variety of budgets. I have clients who work for nonprofits, and I have one client who earned $2 million last year. So when I say I'm all over the board, I'm all over the board. And my youngest client is late 30s, and I go all the way up to some of my clients are mid 70s. But where is my sweet spot are those professional women. And some of them are in jobs that pay a lot and some of them are not. And some of them, still have situations where kids are still draining their bank accounts and things like that. They're in college now, and we know that's very expensive. But one of the things we do right out of the gate is edit someone's closet. And you can go shopping in your own closet. But what a lot of people find they lack is that skill and that eye to pick out the right piece and put the right things together. If you have that, then you can walk into any closet and pull an outfit. But here's the thing I really want your listeners to hear. Everyone is not gifted with that. I'm not gifted in telling you what is the law. I'm not gifted in baking you a cake. I'm not gifted in sewing you a dress. People have different giftings. And I think what we can really realize as midlife women is that we pay for what we're not good at. I'm not that great at painting my toes, so let's go pay somebody to paint my toes. And we're smart enough to know we don't have to be everything to everybody anymore. We don't have to be great at everything. So midlife women are willing to take a little bit of money and work with a stylist, a colorist, the right people, because they realize that investment in something they're not good at can make a big difference. And I find professionals are willing to pay other professionals. You know what you're good at, you know what you're not. So some people want to invest a little bit of money and they can do something like a color analysis. And then we have an opportunity for people who work with us to join a membership called Style Masters, where they pay a small monthly fee. And when I say small, I'm talking $29 a month, and they can learn to dress themselves. Then we have offerings for people to work with me on a small time amount. And then I have people who've worked with me for years and have no intention of giving me up. So some of this can be a little bit of do it yourself. And we teach you. We start with the basics of how, and I know we're going to get into that in a minute, but it doesn't necessarily mean you always throw out everything you have. There's some great pieces in there usually. And it's a matter of what you're doing with those and having the vision. Everybody's not gifted with that vision. I'm just going to very honestly and humbly say this started for me when I was a very small child. I sat in my mom's, we called it a carport in the South. It wasn't as fancy as a garage, but like I had to dress my Barbies. I changed their outfits around. They could never stay the way they came. And I remember being a small child and thinking my clothes had to match. So it's something that's in me. And women should never feel badly that they don't have an innate great sense of style. Some of us were not given that. Some of us were. I don't have an ability to bake you a cake. It's not in me. It's never going to be in me. And I don't feel badly about that anymore in midlife. I'm not going to even try. I'm going to go over to the bakery and buy you a cake. So why don't we do that with our appearance? It's just something we're not used to. And we've been told that stylists are only for celebrities, and they're absolutely not. It's just getting the help that you need wherever you are, whether you just need a little help or you need a full done for you, total head to toe.
That's so good. Yeah, I think that one of many of the conversations I have, women tend to feel a little bit guilty investing in themselves. And it happens, I see it when it comes to coaching, miserable, in tears, unhappy, can't get this business going, but I don't want to invest, or I can't do that for myself. And I imagine it's probably very similar from the style front, even though you know that just with that bit of coaching or that bit of styling, your whole life can turn around.
Well, first off, let me say it's not a huge investment like people think it is. This is not a thousands and thousands of dollars investment. It's really not. It can be on small levels or it can be bigger levels. But the thing is, in midlife, we need to stop feeling guilty about things. And we need to build this next season to be what we want. And if that means I want to look better, I want to feel better in my clothes, I've gained weight, lost weight, I don't feel like myself in my clothes, whatever it is that motivates you. Like I have one woman, she's highly motivated because she's her husband's kind of arm candy, and she's not a professional, but she has to show up looking like a professional husband's wife, because he has a very high professional career that she has to attend dinners with. Then I have women who are just killing it because this is their time to shine. So it depends kind of where you are, but I would say stop it. You are worth it and you deserve it. But we're just so used to giving everything to everybody else. It's a difficult shift sometimes. But I will tell you, in what we do with color analysis and styling and makeup analysis, all the things we do, every one of them will eventually in the long term save you money. I can look people square in the face and tell them that, because Tabatha, let's use you for an example. When you walked into your closet this morning to get dressed, were there any things in there that weren't quite right for you hanging in your closet?
Oh, there are plenty of those.
I've
got
got some makeup that's not working.
Mm-hmm.
When we teach you and when we guide you on what to go buy, what to keep, what to get rid of, first of all, you're not going to make buying mistakes, because we're going to give you parameters, and everything we do at Your Color Style, even our done for you services, like when I style people and do all their purchasing and that kind of thing, I'm still teaching them along the way. Why this? Why you would want to purchase this versus that? Why you want to wear this, not that? And so there's education at the highest levels all the way down to the lowest levels. So we teach you how to be a better shopper. We teach you how to play the game, how to work with retailers, how to get the best deals, all those things. Same thing with makeup. We teach you what to buy. Like our makeup analysis specifically gives you links to which price to go buy. They're right for you in your price range and for your needs, depending on age, skin type. So getting advice like that is invaluable long-term. And it can give you that long-term confidence and long-term authenticity. Even if you only work with us for a short amount of time, what you gain, that's not an expense, that's an investment. And it's an investment in you being your best. And if this is something that makes you feel better, brings you more business, advances your career, why wouldn't you spend a little on yourself? Because we have the eye to help you do that and help you save money rather than just keep spending money hoping it's right.
Oh my gosh. So good. And we don't think about the ROI. We don't think about the investment with the long-term strategy of where it's going to take us. So thank you for explaining that, because it's very clear. It's so funny now that you got me in my closet. I really feel like I should fly you out. But I have those few staple pieces.
I do it here in person for some of my highest end clients. Do have me come out. We have a wonderful time. The thing is that, let me just add one more thing there before we get off the closet. Not only do you have a lot of wasted money when you don't know how to build a closet appropriately, because it is a skill you can be taught. You can learn even if you aren't naturally gifted. The other thing about having a closet full of things that you don't love, that don't fit, that don't work, is this causes an emotional response when you enter your closet that is negative. So we get up every morning as women, we're menopausal, we're bleeding, we're sweating, we're doing all these things. Then we walk into our closet and have a negative experience. The last thing we need is a negative experience around how we're going to look. Because I want you to think about the last time you went in your closet and felt like you didn't have anything to wear, and you put on something and you didn't feel good about how you looked for the day, and you walked out the door. How did that impact your day?
Yeah, it's not a good impact, that's for sure. I mean, just walking out the front door, it was like, here we go again, right?
We don't walk into a room like we own it. My clients now get up, they walk in the closet. First of all, they think this is so pretty because it's all color coordinated for them. And I've told them what hangers to get to make it look even prettier that match their clothes. And they have a myriad of choices. That's what we're all about. We want to set you up so you can't make a mistake. You walk into your closet, you grab things that go together. We want the closet to be coordinated and effortless. So you just pick 2 or 3 pieces, put them on and walk up the door, and you look and feel amazing. And that's the response I get from my clients. I went to lunch today with my friends and I looked so pretty. I had a big meeting today and this is what I wore. Thank you so much. I mean, they really do thank me and they pay me too. I'm like, this is the best company business ever. But what I want you to understand is we can shift the emotional response we had to getting dressed in the morning. And this is a real pain point for women, especially when we're aging, because our bodies don't look like it used to. Our hair's a little gray. If you're like me, it's probably half fallen out. Your eyebrows are wonky. You got chin hairs. I mean, there's a lot that beats us down. We don't need our clothes to beat us down. We just need the right clothes that we can have a positive experience. Because if you're starting every day negative, that is not going to have a good impact on your overall success of your day. It's just really not. So when we edit out let me back up and say the other thing that happens is when we go into a closet full of things that don't work, we have guilt. Because we have guilt about all the money we spent on those things and what we start to tell ourselves, I really should wear that. But Tabatha, how many times do you go over there and actually wear that?
Oh, yeah, I know. I did the whole purge last year. Everything went on Poshmark. I was like, I don't love you. You're out.
But if we leave it hanging there and we don't edit out our closets, it evokes that reaction, that negativity and that stress and that guilt. So people sometimes are like, isn't that wasteful to get rid of a lot of your clothes? No, it gives you clarity. It's gives you a feeling of starting over. It gives you a freshness because you're not wearing those clothes anyway. Because people say, I'm not going to have anything to wear. I'm like, you weren't wearing them. They were hanging there making you think you had a closet full of clothes. What you had was a closet full of mistakes. So we weed all that out. Now, how fast my clients build back in, that's totally up to them and their budget. But we do shop things like ThredUp and Poshmark for people too.
Oh, I love Poshmark. So good. And I was kind of smiling because as you were talking about how they can pull these three things and they go together because they met with you. I think about Garanimals back in the 80s. Remember when you just pulled two things that had a giraffe inside? Yep. If only getting dressed was that simple, and you are telling us that it is.
It really is, because our company is based on color analysis. We are a color analysis company with a style component. And when we give women a color analysis, I know some of your listeners are thinking, oh, are we back in the 80s? Girl, color analysis is raging again the last few years because women have found out and understood, especially modern color analysis, that it is the key to having your physical wardrobe and your makeup wardrobe all be cohesive and getting the look you want. I've had many women, because when they meet with me, we even talk about hair color. We cover it all. And I've had more than one woman say, I could never figure out what was wrong with my look. And it was their hair color. Because nothing else, it never came together. So color is the basis of what we do. And when we create a closet built around your color type, it's all cohesive. And then we throw in the hair and makeup and you look right from head to toe. And you know when an outfit's just right. And you see a girl that it's just right. That's what we give you. That's right. And we just make it where you're not going to pull out anything in there that's bad because that's all gone.
Yeah. Such a good day. All right. We're going to talk about getting you in my closet later. Let's talk about shoes since we're still on outfits. Let's talk about shoes that are cute and comfortable. One thing you said is that, judgments are made about your appearance. I think 7 seconds is the number I've been given about how long it takes for someone to form an opinion or judgment about you. I immediately judge a woman who wears Crocs outside. Like outside in the world.
That's only like my dog to tinkle in the backyard because we have acorns out there.
Totally acceptable. Totally acceptable. But what kind of shoes are
7 seconds? Because here's what I'm going to say. When we get on Zoom and things like that, and there's all those little boxes, I think people are forming opinions faster today because here's what happens. If you don't pass someone's first wall of assessment. Like even if I meet you in a room, we're at a mixer, we're at a meeting, and I meet you and you don't clear my first hurdle, that's often less than 7 seconds. And I don't get the full 7 seconds. We have 7 seconds when we're one-on-one, I think. I would agree with you there. But don't you agree that we're in a group? We might not even get to 7.
Probably. Yeah. Things do move a bit faster when you're online with a group of people. And I know there have been times where I'll make a judgment about someone because they can't seem to find their mute button and they've got all the background noise or, those types of things.
Which we all do. Say someone hears about you, Tabatha Jones, and you got to LinkedIn and your picture looks like you wouldn't know where to go get a job if you had to. They're going to keep rolling. And that didn't take 7 seconds. You didn't even get to make your presentation. And I think that's really sad. They did not get to hear because people are like, oh, well, my brain and my skills will overcome any of that. What if your appearance is so off-putting in a way that makes them question that they never even get to what you had to say? That's the saddest. And again, It's not about being pretty. It's not about being skinny. It's not about being any of that. It's just, do you get great confidence in what you're offering?
Oh, it's good. I hope our listeners are taking notes on that because that is very true. I see LinkedIn pictures. So that's a great example where I'm just like, did you know that's the one you posted? Was that a mistake? Like, could you not see this?
People are not your social media and checking you out. You're insane. Now,
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
I'm stuck.
Do I always go out looking like this? No, today I went to pick a ball with not one stitch makeup on because I was running behind. I knew I had to do this later and get all dolled up. I'm like, I'm doing that twice. So it's not about being fake. It's not about perfection, but it's when it's time. Like a good example is I've done a lot of retreats for women. And it's funny because when I'm on site and I'm in there setting up the ballroom or whatever, and the hotel people are looking for whoever's in charge, I never seem to have trouble identifying me. My appearance and my countenance and the way I carry myself tells them. And if we are honest with ourselves, and let's just be honest, we're midlife women. This is not a competition.
Right.
But are you the girl that they walk in and they know you're in charge? Are you the girl that when you walk around, people immediately identify you as somebody that's important or someone who is capable or someone that it's interesting? They want to get to know you. You look competent. That's what we're talking about, not beauty here. We're talking about image. And that's really different. But you want to be the girl that people walk in the room and scan around, you get their attention for the right reasons, not a low cut blouse or, that kind of thing, for the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shoes. You want to talk about
shoes. Let's talk about shoes that are not comfortable tennis shoes, but cute and comfortable. I'm going to be speaking at an event, for example, in 2 weeks, and heels hurt my little footy. And I don't know. Booties, I guess, are fine, but tell me what your thoughts are on cute and comfortable shoes.
First out the gate, I'll tell you, shoes can wreck an outfit faster than anything. They can elevate an outfit faster. They're also one of the things that will date an outfit or date us faster than probably any other part of the outfit. Shoes turn over quite quickly in the fashion world, and they can come in and out of style very quickly, 2 to 3 years, kind of max on a style, unless it's just a classic. But here's the good news. We know that we as midlife women do tend to have some problems with our feet. I probably 50 to 75% of my clients have bunions, or they have beginnings of bunions or their feet have spread with age and time and weight. Plantar fasciitis, I hear that one all the time. So we have some special needs as midlife women, and we've been ignored. We've absolutely been ignored, just like our health, our hormones, everything else. Nobody's listened to us. But here's the good news. Retailers have finally realized that midlife women have huge spending capacity, and they are now listening to our complaints and our issues. And the ones who are meeting our needs are getting the business. And this also goes for special sizing, whether you're petite, tall, plus size, whatever you are, and to special needs and structures in clothing like special waistbands. And there's just all kinds of things that have come out in the last few years that are marketed to us because they figured out we make the majority of spending decisions in our home. So now they're actual entire brands. Like I have one friend who created a shoe company around feet that have problems. She was an orthopedic physician's assistant, and she created a shoe that comes up over that bunion instead of cutting it in half and is comfortable to stand in and also looks professional to wear. So there's a variety of brands out there. And now I'm just going to throw this out there again, a shameless plug. This is where working with a stylist can be really good because I shop 7 days a week. I know almost every brand out there, and I know where to get what you need. So when a client comes to me and she starts telling me my feet are narrow, my feet are wide, I have a bunion, I can't wear high heels, but I need to be professional, I know where to go. And we have more low-heeled professional shoes. We've had this little kitten heel style for a while, chunky heels. So it's not just all about the stiletto. Also, we're having a huge resurgence of things like ballerina flats, Mary Janes. And when you get them in the right textures and patterns, and this is where subtlety matters, and this is why you work with a stylist, because there's these small things that turn it from casual to professional and vice versa. It can be the fabric, it can be the fit, it can be details. And there's a lot of things that can make a shoe special and appropriate for your situation. But they are out there. That's the best news.
Thank goodness. I am a fan of a chunky little block heel, just so I can get a little height, but not too small of a heel for sure.
Great. Also, women forget things like straps. When a shoe is tied onto your foot, it's a lot less work for you to keep it on, and it becomes more comfortable because you're not squinching your toes all day. Tall boots are back in season, and those are great with a longer dress or a little suit where the skirt comes to your knee and then you wear a tonal tight. That can be a very professional look depending on your industry. You always have to consider your industry and your clients, but there's a lot of options. And I'll tell you, this season, fall, winter 25, 26, hosiery is back with a vengeance. Now, some of you, that's scary, but some of you are glad. You want to cover up your varicose veins and your sun damage. And this bare leg look has not been for you, but it does give us the opportunity to wear a little more and be a little more confident without having to show legs that we may not feel secure about. So there's more options than ever before. And loafers. Oh my gosh, one of the biggest trends going are loafers. And there are loafers that are perfectly appropriate for a professional look.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. Well, we got the shoes covered now, so that's important. The other thing, and we were chatting about this a little bit too before we started recording, but makeup mistakes. So one of the things that I know has changed is my face a little bit in midlife, right? The eyelids are starting to look a little different. This little, whatever that little darling is, those kinds of things that when we're putting on our makeup, we try to avoid. So it's like, let's just get it on and move. What are maybe some of the top mistakes that midlife women are making, and how working with you can help them unmake those mistakes or avoid those mistakes?
Well, first off, let's address the elephant in the room. It's not your imagination. Your face changes, and it's not just your skin. Our skin loses elasticity. We stop producing collagen. It wanes and waxes and eventually stops. And that controls that underlying support structure of our skin. So that's where we get downward droop, fall, what we call sagginess, loss of elasticity. But it goes further than that. So I want you to know, first off, you're not imagining things. Your eye sockets actually change. So if you feel like your eyes look vastly different than they used to, they may be a little more sunken. They may be more hooded. You may have depth and kind of hollows under your eyes. Here's the thing. It's all of us, babe. Unless you're having tweaks done at the plastic surgeon's office, it's all of us. So don't beat yourself up about it, but we're going to dive into what we can do about it. I also mentioned to you, our teeth can move with age. I wound up in my 50s in an Invisalign. I still got the buttons on. I'm still finishing my treatment because my bottom teeth started to shove together. So above me on our skin and the structures, we have changes to our bone structure in midlife. It's not your imagination, but my teeth on the bottom, I'd never had orthodontia. Never. My teeth were fine.
Lucky.
They started pushing together so hard, I thought they were going to break. So there's a lot going on for us. Our noses are getting bigger. Our ears get larger. We're getting fine lines around our lips. And people like to say their lips get smaller. But what's actually happening, as your skin droops down, your lips actually curl in. The lips are still there. That's why lip flip is effective. It's there. You just got to flip it back out or paint it on the way you want it. Okay, here's the good news, though. One, we're all in the same boat. And again, two, retailers and brands are addressing our needs. There is more in the, people don't like the term anti-aging. I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to use that term. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's not anything to beat us up. But we have more we can do about aging skin through collagen, through treatments, through peptides, exosomes, ectoin serum, tretinoin. There's a myriad of things we can do for loss of elasticity, for crepiness on our face. We're sometimes more dehydrated. We have barrier issues with our skin. We have sun damage. And there's so many things. Like I've been on tretinoin for about 6 months and my sun damage is so much erased. It's been a miraculous thing for me. I've had rosacea midlife too. That's another fun surprise. You start having rosacea acne and you never really had bad acne. You just had a random pimple. I was breaking out and I tried everything. I finally broke down, went to a dermatologist. She has a compounded cream from a little pharmacy states away. This cream totally changed my skin as far as my rosacea. So the answers are out there. The question is, though, how are you while you're building your business and doing what you do, loving your family, your friends, having a life, playing pickleball, which is the most important thing, right?
So
how are you going to know what to go get? That's why you need a Sherpa, a guide, someone like me. I'm a makeup connoisseur. Like, you're going to laugh. This right here, these are all samples on my desk to try.
Okay.
Brands do give us things to try, but it's in the, I can't tell you how many products here that I test to tell you about, because you need a guide. It's overwhelming when you walk into Ulta or Sephora. You have no idea what to get. People like us can help you. And there's not a lot of us, because typically we're brand specific. I'm not brand specific. I recommend all kind of brands. Now, to get to the mistakes we're making, the biggest one is to kid yourself and think what you wore 10 years ago is still what you should be wearing now. It's absolutely not. Your skin has changed. The location of things on your face have changed. You have new things on your face, like little hairs. And so you need to rethink it. And it starts with asking yourself what you really need. When you look at your skin, and can you look at your skin objectively? This is something we're not good at, Tabatha.
Oh, I know.
When women look in the mirror, they see what they think they're seeing. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's how you see women that walk up the door and their eyebrows are not even. In their mind, they're looking at them and they're just drawn, but they did not have the ability to step back and look objectively, and they didn't know what they were actually looking for. They were looking at their face in general instead of measurements and precise locations. And we can teach them that. They can learn that. So that's the biggest mistake, using what you're using 10 years ago, both in formula and color, because we can get fairer. We can also have sun damage. It makes us appear a little darker and a little warmer in our skin. Also, our eye color can fade a little bit. Our teeth can get a little yellow. Sometimes when we have gray hair, we need a little more color on our face. Continuing to wear the same thing, expecting it to look right 10 years later. Plus, that's absurd. The products have come so far. The development of products has never moved so quickly. We used to see new products come out occasionally. We see new products come out, within months from the same brands. New. The technology and the industry just moves really fast. So staying stuck is a big thing. Also, some of the things I see women do is wear the wrong color foundation that will instantly age you and instantly look like something's off on your skin. Not wearing mascara. Some people think, oh, my lashes are too short. I'm just going to draw a black circle around my eyes with the eyeliner, and that'll make them stand out. Drawing a black circle around your eyes is never the answer. In fact, most of us do not need to wear black. Look at me, and I hardly ever wear black. I don't even have on eyeliner today. I've just got on great mascara. Finding out what our skin needs as far as what formulas are going to work best. A lot of times we see a shift away from powders to creams as what works best. So if you're still using a lot of powder on your face and you're having to set that foundation with a big old puff and pat it down like we were taught when we were 20, that's going to make you look aged. It's going to settle in fine lines. You're going to look very cakey. Another mistake is wearing lipstick that's too dark. If lipstick is too dark, it will make your lips look smaller. One of the makeup artists I trained with said it's going to look like black slits. Not using products like contour and highlighter and thinking those are only for the young. That's a mistake. They're absolutely for us. And it's all about finding the exact texture and formula and the exact color that works for you. What else? Oh, not doing something about your brows. When your brows disappear from your face, it changes where people are drawn to look on your face. And especially if you're in a lot of meetings or you're speaking or you're on Zoom and people are looking at you for long periods of time, they're often taking you apart and assessing you bit by bit. So if your face is not in balance, a good brow, a midsection, and a lower section, if those aren't in balance, it doesn't feel right to people when they look at you. And it also will, when your brows are right, it draws people's eye towards your eyes. And again, that's what we want. Like when we're meeting or on Zoom, we want people to look at our eyes and our mouth and pay attention to what we're saying. So some of this comes into not creating anything that's distracting. from our message. We want to stay on message. So sometimes it's not a glamour look. It's just a very professional look that makes everything look right, not glamorized. Not using things like finishing sprays too, so it stays on, because if you have a hot flash, that can wreck your look. But a good finishing spray will keep it in place. What else would be a mistake? Giving up. I think that's a mistake. People think I'm old, I don't need to wear eyeshadow on my eyelids or moving around everywhere. No, you need to wear a different eyeshadow and you need to apply it differently. And that varies from person to person because we have different amounts of jiggle and hoodiness. And you really need to work with someone that will teach you the look that's exactly right for you. A lot of people will look at a magazine and say, I want that look. And this is part of the reason I don't do bridal makeup. People want a certain bridal look. That's not what I do. I'm here to give you an everyday look. I want you to have a 5-minute look. I want you to have a regular everyday look. And I want you to have an evening out look. And I'm going to show you how to build those three and how to change them throughout the seasons. That's what I want for clients. And I think that's what women need to be able to do. So that would be another mistake, not knowing how to do a quick look, a regular daily look, and an evening or special event look. Is that enough? Problems?
That's a lot. That's so good. I love it because now I'm laughing because contour is so confusing to me. You see these diagrams, you're like, who has time for that? I fake it. But then
be tricky. It needs, I'll just speak to contour and how it's got to be based on your face. People don't need to contour the same things. It depends on what is a primary for you. Like if we're having fullness in the jowls, contouring the jowls is great. Everyone doesn't need that. Contouring the cheeks, though, can be very beneficial, especially if you're on Zoom, because on Zoom we become one-dimensional sometimes, and we need to have things that pop up and things that recede. So contour is definitely for you. What's probably not for midlife women as much as bronzer. And we get the two confused. They're not the same thing. Contour is definitely for us.
Love it. And then I was trying not to laugh because when you're talking about eyebrows getting thinner, I feel like our eyebrow hairs fall out and they turn into chin hairs. And we always look like we're so deep in thought and we're really just trying to figure out, can I grab that thing or do I have to go get the tweezers?
I ride around with tweezers in my car. They're in on the console in case I fall one. All right, you stop at the red light and you get in the sun. You're like, what is that? And why did my friends not tell me?
Right. And it's terrible. Like it wasn't there when you left the house, but all of a sudden the sunlight hits it and you're like, oh, all right. That's been growing for a minute.
And that goes into another issue we see is not knowing the right brow color or shape for your face. Women really struggle with that when their hair changes and they go gray. What color should my brow be? And a lot of women overlook the fact that you can dye your brows. If you're dyeing your hair, you probably need to be dyeing your brows. And here's the secret. I'm going to let you in a big one. When you dye your brows, it fattens them up a little bit because hair dye does damage our hair a little bit. It just does. But also, you have all those fine little blonde hairs down in there and around. Yeah. You can have the dye pick those up a little bit and you'll wind up with a much thicker looking brow.
Yeah. See? Learned something else new today. So good. Oh.
I do mine all the time and I do it myself. I have nothing on my brow except a fixative. And I'm
very nice.
Korean.
Fabulous brows. There's Puppy.
The dog has joined us. This is my
so cute.
My dad, who has gone to assisted living, but we laugh because in color analysis, I'm a bright, cool, deep, and so is Lucy. She's high contrast, so she has a matching collar to go with her color type.
Oh my gosh, I love it. My little coworker is sleeping under my desk. She's always right there.
That's me on Zoom. We didn't talk a lot about color, but knowing your correct colors, I think that's another mistake is because when we're young, we're so cute. We can wear a lot of things that are wrong and still look cute. But as we age, there's certain colors that are going to make us look awake, look rested, look healthy. And those are our best colors. So when we do color analysis, we not only tell women what are their best colors, we can go as deep as they want to go, depending on how much they want to spend and how much time. But we will give them blushing colors. Like these are the colors that will make you look naturally flushed. These are your power colors. Got a hot meeting? Do you really want to sell people? These are the kind of colors you should wear. And my partner and I, we work on all of that together so that you have that total look that's appropriate for the situation. So not understanding your color type and what to wear when is a big problem. We just haven't, as midlife women, we haven't had the time or the capacity for that up until now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for adding that. That's so important. I agree for sure. I actually am really liking the sweater or jacket you have behind you. But anyway, we'll shop about
Oh,
that
that's
later.
Roxanne. Roxanne gets a new outfit with the season. So that's just a long sweater cardigan with a hood on it. It's
Yeah.
great if you want to just cause people, I'll just give you the fashion tip of why this works. This skims down the body. So if you're carrying a little bit on your hip or your midsection, this causes the eye to skim over that because there's nothing stopping there. Your shirt would, of course, but what's really flattering is if you have a monochromatic underlook, like this is a white shirt, but say this shirt was, I don't know, any color gray, and you're on gray slacks, that makes the eye not stop on our problem areas, which for midlife women are typically in the middle here. Then we've created a long line with the sweater, but also we've given two vertical lines, and vertical versus horizontal is our friend. It makes the eye go up and down. So something like this can make you look tall and sleek, even if you're not.
I
And
love it. And
jackets are a great choice for a midlife because sometimes we got a little bit of this chicken wing arm over here, gotten a little flabbier with the years. It just happens. Now we have a lot of vendors making jackets that have some stretch. And there's nothing we hate worse in midlife than being uncomfortable or something feeling tight on us. We just hate that. We have jackets that fit us because the brands are listening to us. Just got to know where to go get them. And I respect that it's very hard if you're not in the industry. But that's why you hire professionals.
oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait to connect after this. Also, I'm a sucker for a long black cardigan or jacket because I agree. Like people always think I'm so tall. Oh, but you're just tall. You can wear that. I'm like, I'm 5'5.5". I say 5'10" for the weight charts only, but
Yeah.
literally not even quite 5'6". But you do. You look taller when you have that nice line. So I have to find out more about
Monochromatic
that
dressing
sweater.
is such a style trick. And some women get afraid of it because they think it's too bold, but you can do monochromatic in any color. You could do it in cream or camel or gray, or you can be like me and do it in hot pink or purple. But it gives a very long, lean look. And especially when you choose the right shoe, like you brought up shoes earlier, and big mistake a lot of women make is choosing a shoe that it's not elongated. It doesn't have to be pointy toed. There's a difference. Pointy toes are elongated, but there are other elongated shoes that maybe have a cropped off, squared off toe. So they're a little more comfortable, but you want that shoe to show out from underneath your trouser. That creates length to the leg. When the trouser covers your shoe with a little round, short shoe you've chosen, that makes you look stubby. So it's little things like that really tweak an outfit and make it what you want it to be. And a lot of times women, they look at it and they can't figure out what's wrong.
Yeah. It is stubby is exactly the word I was going to say. Definitely stubby sometimes when you have those little shoes. And I'd say pointy-toed shoes are probably what caused most of us 80s kids to have bunions. I'd had bunion surgery years ago. And so I'm still very careful about pointy-toed shoes. So the newer styles that are coming out that you just explained, so helpful and so cute.
And there was one I looked at yesterday. It was like it was going towards a point, but it kind of stopped. So it gives some width there. That's the secret, is to getting the right fit and getting the right look in one. But it's out there. It's out there.
So good. I am so excited after this conversation, Gail. I hope that our listeners all are taking some really great notes, and we'll make sure that we include your information in the show notes so they can reach out and schedule an appointment with you. Is there an easy way for our listener to connect with you? Social media, other?
Style.com, and most of the services they would click on will give them an opportunity to just schedule a call with us, just to say, this is my situation. Are we a fit to work together? Because honestly, another thing in midlife, like you said, we don't have any problems saying what we like and what we don't. I know who my clients are, and I know who's not a good fit for me. I want people to want to work with me. I'm not here selling a pig in a poke. I don't want to just work with everybody. I want people that I connect with and we really get each other. So conversation is a good way to figure that out. Now, also, we're going to offer your audience a discount if they want to start with a color analysis, which is the great starting point. They're going to get $25 off if they use the code word TABS, TABS, for you, Tabitha. Just put tabs in there, all caps, and you'll get $25 off your color analysis. And the other thing I want to mention about color analysis, just for the record, since it's trending, we get a lot of questions about it. Some things you see on or actually online are being done by AI. You do not want an AI color analysis. It's likely to be inaccurate. You also don't want a color analysis person who's been doing this for 2 weeks and took a 3-day online course. That's not. My business partner created our entire system. We are not seasonal color analysis. We are a more modern approach. And what we find our clients say is we are actually experts at graying hair, olive skin tones. And for people, they've found themselves in between other palettes because the way we teach the color and how you work within the palettes is quite different. So be careful if you're shopping for color analysis that you go to someone who is really trained and really professional and not Susie down the street that trained for, because I've seen it. I've seen people I know do it and they're now an expert. I'm like, girl, Now you can get trained to be an expert, but just make sure you get your analysis from someone who has a lot of experience, because that's how analysts learn, is by seeing hundreds and hundreds of faces. And the people who do ours definitely have. And as far as the makeup and style piece, I've been looking at faces for over 30 years. So when you come to your color style, we're not a flash in the pan. We are really the deal, especially for midlife women. And that's our focus, is midlife women. So yourcolorstyle.com, we have a blog out there. So there's tons of free resources on the website. Even if you don't want to spend any money with us, there's little quizzes you can take. There's, you can join our email list and get a 3 quick things type of tutorial. So there's a lot out there on the yourcolorstyle.com website. And then you can also go through there and find out how to connect us. And if you just want to reach out to me and ask me some questions, Gail, Gail at yourcolorstyle.com. Email me, ask me anything, even ask me what I just said about our services. But we're here to help midlife women feel confident and authentic and as beautiful as they truly are.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And I love that I got to spend some time this afternoon with you, Gail. We don't get to do it often enough.
No.
I need you to move to California. I'm just kidding. I know that's not happening. We need to meet in the middle.
I'm happy to visit California. I'll just tell you, because I love California, but I know you could probably be pressured to come to the beach in South Carolina too.
I wouldn't be mad. I love a beach pretty much anywhere. So
you're working on an event because our members want to get together, because that's one thing we do at Your Color Style. We have a community as well. It's not just services, and they want to get together and have a YCS event. I'm like, okay, let's go.
How fun would that be? Oh my gosh. I love it.
We're at it.
Well, maybe I will be out there to see you then. All right, Gail, any final words of advice or inspiration before we wrap up?
I just want midlife women to know they are not washed up. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. And I know some of you, I don't want to make light of it, you have some pain going on. You're missing your children, or you're missing the body you used to have, or you're feeling that arthritis in your hip. And some things don't feel great in this season. But if you will embrace what is beautiful about this season, including your own beauty, your own just your own authenticity, even if it's being very natural, that's great too. Just be the best you right now. Do not mourn what is the past. Don't mourn who used to be. We don't have time for that. What we have time to do and where we need to spend our energy is making this the best season of our lives to date. And if we don't, we're really wasting our opportunities and our life, to be quite frank.
Yeah, so powerful. Gail, it was so much fun having you here today. And I really appreciate you for taking some time out to hang out with us on the Gen X Remix. Thank you
for having me.
Oh my gosh. I hope you loved that conversation with Gail as much as I did. I don't get to talk to her very often, but when I do, I always have so much fun. I hope you felt that. And I hope you're walking away remembering this. As Gail said, you are not washed up. You are just due for a remix. Be sure to check the show notes to connect with Gail and grab your special coupon code. And if this episode lit a fire under you to reinvent more than your wardrobe, maybe your whole next act, come join me inside the Freedom Builder system. It's where you'll get Business Builder AI, plus access to the Freedom Builder community, where we host live calls to share strategies and tips, answer questions, offer hot seat coaching, and help you launch or grow your business faster without wasting thousands of dollars trying to lay your foundation alone. You'll find the link in the show notes or at corporateescapesherpa.com. And if you love this episode, please follow the show, leave a review, and share it with another midlife woman who's ready to own her next act, inside and out. Until next time, friends, I want to remind you that your next act doesn't have to wait. Until next time, stay stylish, my friends.